Hello, Miss Jessie. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. So, how's your day going so far? Okay.
The day has been good. It's just 11 a.m. here,
Yeah.
so my day just start a bit.
Yeah. So, and how's the weather like in your place?
The weather here in Malaysia, I'm from Malaysia, so the weather here is usually a bit like sunny and cloudy.
Yeah.
The temperature is about like I think at night should be about 27, and in the morning you will reach about like 32 or could be 35 degrees Celsius with rains.
Oh yeah, the same thing over here as well. It's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it just rains now and then it's also is very sunny and like into 36 degrees in the morning and 27 degrees at night. So yeah.
Yes, we have about the same weather. We don't have 4 seasons.
Yeah, of course. So let's start the interview then.
Sure.
Okay, so for those listeners or viewers who don't know who you are, can you give us a snapshot of your story or share a little bit of your journey to who you are today?
Sure. My name is Jessie Liew. I'm actually a digital parenting coach. What it means is I actually help parents to establish better relationship with their children while empower their children to use electronic device responsibly and staying safe online.
Yeah. Great. So how long have you been helping parents to get their kids out of screen addiction?
Well, I actually started during the pandemic. Okay, so perhaps I just share some of the backstories.
Yeah.
So basically, I actually work for 14 years in cybersecurity. So which means I help big corporations to defend their systems from all these cyber attackers, and we also implement all the policies and everything, and also help to shape their employees' internet safety habits as well, because I know corporations have a lot of information that is very precious and is private and confidential as well, and we need to protect it from external and also internal. So we also do not want the employees to take out the data. At the same time, we don't want them to do something that is stupid that allows the attacker to come and attack us. So because of my backgrounds, and my husband is also from IT background. So to be honest, two of us discourage our children to use electronic device when they are very young. Because number one, we know what is out there. We know that what is the internet dangers out there. And we know that internet is not designed for kids or children. And some even actually adults, they are not designed for some adults, because I also see a lot of adults also not able to cope with, and sometimes they also fall into internet dangers like scam, being identity being stolen,
Also get trapped.
and and also get trapped. So the second thing is it's very addictive because you know when you
scrolling all the time.
Yes, keep scrolling all the time, and that's why we actually discourage them to use. But when the pandemic came, like March 2020, we are Malaysia in a lockdown. I think most of the countries are in the lockdown as well. Then I realized one thing: my children has to be with the device most of the time because of the online classroom. You know, the school has pivoted to online classroom. So in Asia, tuition center is very popular. I'm not sure about Bangladesh. Are you popular with tuition center? But if you look into Malaysia and Singapore, they are very popular with tuition center. So obviously, I also send them to tuition center. And then the tuition center also has to pivot to online because they can't operate from their premise anymore because of the lockdown and the movement restriction order. So we call it MCO, movement restriction order. That's the term. But I want to prevent screen addictions in the first place. And that's why I know I need to do something, because I don't want, and I know that the screen addiction is actually quite bad, because most of my friends who have child, if let's say they are addicted to screen, it's really bad. It's really bad. So yes, and I also like one of the things that I don't like is if I'm not sure in Bangladesh, but if you go to Malaysia, if you go to a restaurant, right,
Yeah.
When you see a family in a table, right, what typical do you see? If you can tell me, it will be good. But what I see is most of them, they are just having this gesture.
Yeah, the same thing. Yes. Most of them are
Yes.
on their phone. Kids are like fighting, and then the kids are also calling their parents, and they don't even listen.
Yes, and the parents are addicted. The children is also looking at the screens, and and it's quite a sad thing that there was no conversation taken place during the dinner time. And as I reveal back my my family culture, right? My dad has my dad was an entrepreneur, and during the dinner time is the time that he connects. He's very busy. Usually we don't get a lot of time with him. But during the dinner time, he will actually talk to us, and he will pass down his wisdom to us, And then I realized that some of the things is also shape how I think and why I do certain my decisions.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually very crucial to connect with your children, especially when, in this era, we are all busy. Mothers are busy because they are working. They also have their role as a mother, a role as a wife, a role as a daughter as well, and a daughter-in-law. So there's too much of things on plate. And I think dinner time, the meal time is the best time to
connect with
your
friends.
Yes. So I'm very cautious about that, and I didn't like it at all. I was like, what the heck? What the heck are you guys doing? Because you have to remember, if you don't connect your children during the dinner time when they are young, when they are older, they won't connect with you when they are older. Yes, when they are older, when they are in the 30s, right? You will find that your dinner table is actually so silent.
Silent.
Still scrolling the phone, so there was no conversation, and you actually miss it when you at your time, maybe perhaps you are in your 60s, you're retired, and you wish how I wish my children
miss that time. And when will I get it back?
Right? Yes, you won't get it back actually, because our children, they grow, and eventually they will leave us, not to leave us because they want to leave us. They leave us because they have to pursue their career and things that they want as well, and they also went into adulthood, their career, their relationship, all that, right? So that's how I got started. I put everything I know about mindfulness, habits. I'm a strong believer in habits. I believe that habits define who we are, because our habits really define about who we are, So I teach about habits, mindfulness, and parenting. Some of it is more to conscious parenting, is mind parenting. And also, I also put in internet safety, because I realized one thing: if I decide that I have to pass the device to my children, right? They are the users. I can't be there all the time. Instead of I be like going there and make sure they're all right, I realized, why don't I just teach them? They, as children, they also want to keep themselves safe. They don't want trouble as well. Yes. So I decided that I teach my children how to stay safe, and why is this habit is so important and tied to a why to them. And then it's actually works very well for my family. Until my best friend Lydia, she called me up and she shared that she has to fight with her teenager son to snatch back the smartphone, because the son was so addicted to the smartphone. And then I realized that, wow, the smartphone and the screen seems to not create disconnect, like no conversations in the table, but also disharmony, because you are also looking at parents and children fight because of the screen. And when I told my daughter was, really? Fight for the stupid phone? That's how she terms it. And by the way, she's about your age as well. She's a younger, she's going to be 12 by June.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
Yes. So that's why I decided to start. So actually, basically, I started like around March 2020 as well. I survey, and then eventually I help parents to help them to prevent screen addictions, to overcome their child screen addictions, to reduce the excessive screen time. Some they are not addicted, but they serve a lot. And also to nurture good screen habits, because that's how I believe it. If they're the users, we can't be there to hover them. So instead of like controlling their screen time, I believe that why not we try to nurture good screen habits?
Yes, that's good. Because instead of like telling them that they shouldn't use the screen, then they will get into a fight. But if we also teach them that they should stay safe and we should nurture the good screen habits, then they will understand that it's good and bad. So yeah, of course.
Yes. And also that I realized that, sometimes a lot of happening online, right? Like cyberbullying.
Yeah.
So for example, you got cyberbullied and most of the children, they refuse to tell the parents because why? The parents are controlling their screen time.
Yeah.
And if let's say your parents are controlling your screen time, right?
Yeah.
Would you want to tell your parents that you got cyberbullied or you see something is wrong, right? If something is wrong, I'm not sure, I'm confused, but I'm not sure. Should I tell my parents?
No, I think we should tell our parents, of course, but like not that, like you should see and everything. But we should.
Yes, you should tell your parents. But why many child don't tell the parents? And if let's say I don't think
they think that their parents would scold them, or like they would scold them, they would yell at them. So yeah.
Yes, they will think that the parents will, and their screen time will also taken away, right? What is the children's most fear? The phone or the device being taken away.
Taken away,
yes. And that's why I think controlling can only do so much because you will be constantly fighting, you control, they will try to bypass, you control, they try to find a way to bypass. You control again, and even though you control so much, when they go to talk to their peers, they will also learn something new. And I remember one conversation which is very very funny, like when my son, he's 9 years old, but when during the pandemic he was standard 1, he go to the same school as my daughter, right? So the principal was telling them, right, there's a story, you have a water bottle, right? And when after the school, you are not allowed to throw your water at the school compound. You are not allowed to throw the water at the school compound. So my son is curious, why there's such rules that the water cannot be thrown at the school compound. And I was driving at the time, so both of us sit behind me. And he asked, Mom, there's a rules, right? The principal say that you can't throw the water at the school compound. Then I was like, when he asked me, I also like got shocked, I was like, what is stupid? What is this about? I also like couldn't figure out, Then my daughter came in and she's laughed. Okay, so this is what happened. Usually, the parents will nag and scold when you come home with water full of water. I think Asian parents, we always nag about, hey, have you drink your water? I'm not sure about Bangladesh. Asian always like, have you drink your water? Have you drink your water?
Have you drink the water? Have you ate your tiffin and everything else? Yes.
So, children don't like water, right? Do you like drinks a lot of water? I think most children don't drink a lot of water.
I do actually drink a lot of water.
Yeah, for you, but most of them, they don't,
most of
right?
Them doesn't, yes, most of them doesn't. Even I didn't eat it when I was younger.
Yes. So what they do is, when they want to go, after the school over, and when they go to the bath, right? They start to throw the water so that it's empty. Yes, so it's empty when they go home. Okay, you finish your water, right? But only the son knows, no, I just throw the water, right?
Yeah, of course.
And because of so many children is doing that, throw the water at the school compound. And that's why the principal has to come with this stupid rules that you cannot throw your water in the school compound. Then I was like, oh wow. Then I was asking my daughter's friend, right? Hey, I realized your water bottle is always still got water one, because I don't really nag about the water bottle so much. But obviously the grandmother actually also nag. And then my daughter actually give me, she paused for a while and I think she gave me only one answer. I don't see there's a need.
Yeah.
I don't see there is a need. It means what? It means that she don't see that she needs to actually do a bluff. You know, she's okay with that, and we are also okay with that. And I also realized that, you know, there's no point that nag, because my philosophy is, if you nag many times already, it's not working, you have to try to find a way to discuss with them and make an agreement with them, and not forcing them the rules, and then it's
and
going to
yell at
create
them
more.
and then say like, no, you cannot do it, and that's it.
Yes. And children needs to be treated like an individual. They need to be respect, and they also need to understand why is it needs to be done in such a way. And if they start to buy in the idea, then they may try to follow it through as well.
Yeah.
So it's the same. So the peers will teach you a lot of things. So my daughter also told me that, you know, like in the exam, you know, when you got poor marks, you know, what will the children do when the poor marks? They go home, they go to the parents
like with a very happy face, like, hey mom, I got 100%. That's it. And when and when they do not get full mark, and then they be like, they hide their test papers under the bed or under the door or anywhere else in the world, but they don't show it to their parents, thinking that their parents would yell at them, right?
Yes. And then sometimes if let's say they need in the school here, you need to get the parent's signature. Same here. So my daughter actually say, oh, some of my friends, they will try to
copy their
way to change the marks.
Oh.
Because, you know, parents only look at the surface, they don't look behind, you know, right? If you pass your paper, your mom only look at the surface, which is what is the mark, and the bottom, whether how much is how much is right and wrong, you know, the adults usually don't see. So they just change the one, and there's some ways according to my daughter. So I realized one thing. So even you control and you want, they can still learn from their peers.
Yeah.
They learn a lot from their peers. They are very updated. I'm sure you're also very updated.
Yes. So this is what happens all the time. Yes. Because people always want to get ahead of their peers or be like their peers. So they follow their peers a lot, of course.
Yes. So so that's how I got started. And then my philosophy, why I would actually think about this is also like, you know, the more you control your children will lies, they will try to hide, which is not going to have a deep space communications. But in the internet world, there is a lot of things that, and even if you have put in the control, some of the things they can still bypass, or they can still sneak in. And then, you know, you need to get your children to come to you and tell you, well, I have a problem, so can you help me? Rather than, I have a problem, but my mom is going to scold me and going to take away my device. I think I just hide at my bedroom and cry on my own.
And which is not good, of course. So
yes, which is not good, because you need to know what is happening, especially online. Is going to be a huge amount of their life.
Yes, of course. Because nowadays we do everything in online. So that's why it's very important for our lives. So we cannot be like, oh no, my mom is going to scold me, so I cannot show it to my mom. So no, that's not good, of course.
Yes. And that's how I shape my methodologies on this around that concept, because I felt that can do so much. And by just schooling and reacting to our children, it's not going to create better relationship, you know. It's going to allow them to feel like, my mom didn't understand me. My mom just going to school me. That's it. And it's going to push them away. It's going to push them away, right?
Of course. Yes. Of course.
So that's why we, as parents, we have to stop, react, and respond.
Yes. Sometimes we just have to teach them like why they should follow this rule. That's it. We don't have to scold them all the time. Yes, I agree with you. Of course.
Yes. And I felt that if, let's say, you can, then you were able to allow a safe space communications with your children, and they're more willing to share with you what happened.
Yeah, of course. So like you said, many people are now addicted to their screens. So how can parents get their kids out of their screen addiction and get them to spend time with their family or do something else?
Well, there are many ways, like the first thing is I'll actually say you have to look into your family culture.
Yeah.
Right. If let's say, for example, in the family dinner, like the restaurants, the family, but the parents are addicted to the screens, and the children keep telling them, mom, you dinner restaurants.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to decide the pathway for the rest of the family as well, right?
Yeah.
And you can't tell, okay, I can be addicted to the screens, but you can't.
Yes.
How does the children feel?
Yeah.
Is it fair?
No,
it's not fair.
It's not fair, of course, because we are not addicted to the screen. Then how can you be addicted as well? So that's the reason.
Yes. You have to be very mindful about screen as as a family, and you need to set boundaries. Like when I say boundaries, means like if I put in a very layman, for example, in the domain of health, and when we talk about domain of health, we always talk about food. Like water is one of it. You need to take sufficient water intake. You need to set boundaries with your food as well, because if we don't set boundaries with our food, what will happen?
Yeah.
If I don't tell you, okay, you can't take this kind of food, and because of it's not healthy, right? What will you do? If I just give you the free choice, you can select whatever you want. What will you select?
Okay, so I would maybe select some chickens, and maybe I should also select some celery and some cucumbers as well, maybe, and some vegetables.
Okay. Yes, but I think that most of the people will select things that they really like.
Yes, like I should also have selected the chocolates as well, chocolates and ice creams as well, along with all those, like I said.
Yes, because if you don't set boundaries with your food, you will start to take things that you just like ice creams, chocolates. I don't say chocolate is not good, but it has to be in a moderation. You can't just take a lot.
Yes.
And people will start to take junk food. And that's why you can actually see that some people are very obese because they don't set boundaries with the food, and they just take things that with whatever they like, and perhaps they have a lot of junk food, right? So and after you take so much of junk food and all that, what will happen to your health? Do you think your health is good or bad?
Well, I think my health is quite good right now, but it is leading to obesity right now, I think.
Yes. Basically, when you take a lot of junk foods, your health will start to decline. You will start to have sickness when you're older.
Yes.
And you will have a lot of like obesity, and which leads to maybe diabetes, or perhaps cancer in the future. So you will not see the effect right now, but you will see the effect later in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, of course.
So especially with the screen, if you don't set the boundaries with your screen, you see that, okay, it's just the screen. It's not harm, right? And most people think that the screen is not the harm because it's just a screen. It's not like the, when the children actually go outside, and they will always felt that, okay, I have to keep them safe, right? They always think that I have to keep them safe physically because there is people out there, perhaps people kidnap them. So people, perhaps he will lose if he don't get the right directions.
Yes.
Right. So we always thought about like the dangers in the physical, because it's something that we can see. But for the phone, because it's just a phone, people don't realize that the inside is actually very harmful, because the internet is not designed for the children.
Yes.
And they need to navigate how to navigate, right? So you need to set boundaries with the screen as a family, like in terms of time, in terms of usage, in terms of purpose and core values.
Yeah, of course. So we need to like set boundaries. That's it. Okay.
Yes, you need to set
Yeah,
boundaries.
yeah, of course.
If
Because
it's not,
that
then
setting boundaries is
you will
very
just yes, because if you don't look at it, if let's say you don't dedicate the time for it, right?
Yeah.
Then you just mindlessly. And
Yeah.
by the time you finish, you really realize that, oh, I already spent for the whole day on my smartphone.
Yeah. Like whenever you like open it and then you open it for like 15 minutes, like thinking that, okay, I'm gonna spend time on it for 15 minutes, but then you end up spending time for 15 hours instead. So that's what happens.
Yes. And that's why you need to set boundaries and you need to guide your children to set together with you as a family.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So so often parents give their phones whenever they're disturbing their parents, which leads to screen addiction. So can you tell us about some activities parents can give their kids to do instead of giving phones?
I think this is a common thing, but I think if I give you a list, right, the problem is, do your child want to indulge in these activities or not?
Yeah.
So, for example, Anissa, I ask you, if let's say your mom didn't want to give you, and I say you can actually start drawing, and is start drawing something that you like?
Nope. I wouldn't.
No,
because I hate drawing, of course.
Yes, you hate drawing. It's not something that you're passionate about, right?
Yes.
So I wouldn't have like a clue for it. I think it's about really thinking about like what are the things that your children's like.
Yeah.
Right. Or perhaps, like for me, I always encourage them to be curious and try something new.
Yeah, of course.
So when you have that kind of mindset and culture that, okay, we can always try something new, my children are open to try something new. It's not like, oh, is this something I don't like, I don't want to try. And sometimes your children mindset is also follow the parents' mindset.
Yeah, of
if
course.
Let's say the parent is always, we just stick to this, stay safe, don't try something new, right? Then when you go to a children, hey, try something new, activities like, forget about it. I'll just stick to, the safe, do the same thing that I do. Yeah, I don't want to try something new, right? Because it's hard, right? So I think it's also about like, how you run the mindset and the family culture. And for me, it's because I always advocate like, hey, it's something new. Can we try about it? So you can actually, ask them, hey, this is a new activities. I think it's cool. Do you think you like it or not? Just ask them. And sometimes it could be as simple as that. And if let's say they say, okay, why not? Then you can just maybe buy a bit and try and see whether they like it or not. And if they like, you can buy more.
Yeah, of course. All right, so how can kids themselves also stay safe on the internet and stay safe from all the misinformation on the internet?
Oh, well, is a thing that is quite huge. I wouldn't able to cover in all, but I can tell you that as the cybersecurity experts, I've actually go and identified there are 9 internet dangers out there, and obviously some of it can be done via the software, but many of it can't, because like I said, the children are the users, so you need to educate them and how to serve, navigate the online world in a safe way. So number 1 is screen addictions. Second is online predators, and it's actually as simple as don't talk to any strangers. I don't understand, if physical strangers you cannot talk, why can you talk to any online strangers? It's the same, right?
Yes, it's the same, of course.
It's the same, but why are children actually talking to some online strangers friends that they got? It's a bit like kind of weird for me. So and then we also have inappropriate content. Means that the content is not mean for the children. It could be porn, it could be adult materials, it could be some about drugs, alcohol, things that are not meant for the children, right?
Yes.
So inappropriate content is one of it. And then we're also talking about cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying.
Yes, especially if you have social media, or you have like a YouTube channels, even you have a YouTube channels, people will still comment, you will still have trolls, no matter whether you do good people will still be hateful and telling you, hey, not good, why are you doing this, you are stupid, right? So it's how to handle. Yes, and it's really teaching how the children to handle and look from that perspective and how to handle the bully.
Okay. So how
And
can
then,
they handle the bully?
pardon?
So how can they handle the bully then? Is there any tips?
Oh, yes. This one is something that is actually not just online. Actually, offline, you also have a lot of people, sometimes they are just not kind and they are very hurtful, like they did not process and they just think, and it could be sometimes because it's just in the family, you know, people keep comparing, you're not good enough, you're bad, why your score is like that, you know, they are just not kind and meaningful words, right? So I can share a story like back many years ago when my daughter was young, she was also bullied, but in a way that she was told that she was ugly.
Oh.
So she was came home, she cried, and I think the first thing that most parents do is you know, we have a lot of minds, you know, and usually when you come to the ghetto mind, you only have 3 reactions.
Yeah.
Which is number 1, the fight and flee.
Yeah.
And most parents, if they see and witness their child being bullied, they will react and they want to fight. Who is this guy? I'm going to see him and talk to his parents, right?
Yeah.
So we have typical parents who will just fight and they feel that it's not fair. I need to fight for my child. I need to see the parents of the bully for on my child's behalf.
Yeah.
The second is, you know, they have no idea what to do with it. Yeah. And they could just ignore it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes even tell the children, just ignore it, it's not important.
Yes. That's what they do.
Yes, that's what they do. But the problem is you are not validating and recognizing your child's feeling.
Yeah, of course.
Right? You're not recognizing your child's feeling. He was bullied. And obviously, it's a not feeling that everybody don't like. No one likes to be bullied.
Yes.
Right? So the first thing is, you know, instead of react, you calm down first. Get her some water, ask her to calm down, breathe in. And after she calm down, when she come back to her, you know, the prefrontal cortex, then it's time to talk to her and ask, okay, what happened right now? Okay. Yeah. And really deep dive into how do she feel? And usually she feel like hurt. She feel it's not fair. Why are you actually telling me ugly? I'm not ugly, right?
Yes.
And then she's also that she was hurt and she was also angry at the same time.
Yes. Hurt and angry at the same time. And sad as well.
And sad as well, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So it's also allow her to recognize her feelings and why she feels in such a way.
Yes.
And then after that, and actually I teach her how to react. The first thing I ask her is, the one who actually tell you ugly, is she beautiful? And it caught my daughter by surprise because she never expect that I will actually ask that. And that's the first time that I teach her. I think it's about like first few years that I really teach her how to handle the bully. Yeah. And she said, no, she's not pretty. Oh. She's not beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Then I told her, actually, even though I never see her, I know that she's not pretty at all. Yeah. Because you know what? People who are confident and they already know that they are beautiful, they do not need to do so. Yes, of course. Just when you are confident and you really know that you have your own beauty, right? You don't need to step on others to bring up you. Yes. Don't feel that I'm not pretty, so that I need to step on someone so I look good, right? Yes. That's the bully mentality. Yeah. And also go back to her and ask her, do you think this is a bully mentality? And she really deep dive and she agrees with me. Yeah. And then I say, okay, so now you know the bully. Actually, to be honest, she's also telling herself that she's not pretty. Oh. Right? Yes. She's also telling herself she's ugly as well, right? Yes. And then after that, I teach her, okay, so how do we handle? Then I ask, by crying more, what do the bully wants to do? The bully actually... She will want to bully you more. Yeah. The bully wants if you die to make the other person sad and hurt. That's the main purpose. Yes. Yes. And if you keep crying, you show reactions of sad, would you think the bully will go further?
I mean, yes, bully will actually go further.
They
Thinking
will
that,
go further, right?
yes,
So in order to have stopped the bully itself is to stop reacting as well.
yes,
Simple as
simple as that.
that.
Of
Yes. So there are a few ways. Number one is I said you can just ignore, pretending that you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need to actually call and let it in. She can actually throw the ball to you. You
Yeah.
have the rights to
Yeah.
push that away. It's not me.
Yeah, of
You
course.
also have the choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then the second thing is, if you can do it, then you just tell her, well, yes, you're so beautiful. And what can, if let's say you are the bully, what can you do else? Because she already said, yeah, you are beautiful. Can you
Yeah.
bully some more?
No.
Yes, to stop there.
Yes. They should only
Yes,
stop
right.
there. Yes, because they're like, oh, she's telling me that I'm beautiful. Why should I bully her saying that she's ugly? So yeah.
Yes. So I say it depends on you. So the key thing is you shouldn't, you should try to avoid to try and react to that, because the more react, the more bully wants to bully you, because she knows you give her the reactions that she wants.
Yeah.
She's looking for reactions, and the reactions is crying and not happy, sad and angry. This is the reactions that the bully wants.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't fit it to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So yeah, so basically it's just simple as that.
Yes. Okay, that's good. So there are also many teens and college students, or even adults, like you said, who are addicted to their screens, and they're also guilty about it sometimes. So how can they overcome the addiction and balance their screen time with their work time?
Well, it's also back to, the setting the mindfulness and the boundaries with the screens, because you have to set the intention in the beginning. If you don't set the intention, you are just mindlessly. So you have to set the intention in the beginning.
Yeah.
Set the boundaries.
Yeah.
And for children, because they are young, it's hard for them to set the boundaries and expect them to follow.
Yeah.
For parents, it's better to have agreement, like the screen use agreement with your child. So you deep dive into what is the time use, what is the usage, what is the purpose, and what is the core values. And also at the same time, you teach them how to surf safely, and what are things you shouldn't do online, so that to make sure that you can keep yourself safe. Right? So you should actually turn into agreement, go with your child, so that number one, they agree. And usually when they agree, they will also try to follow through. Because when you impose rules, because most parents, what they do is they just impose rule. Do it. Just do what I say.
Yeah, because I said so.
Do you think, yes, and do you think the children will try to follow through? Yeah, my mom says so. Reluctantly follow. Reluctantly, right? And sometimes will try not to follow. If let's say the child is more rebellious, right? And you start to say, this is a very rebellious child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should set agreement with them. And of course, when you set the agreement and tie to a why they have to behave in such a way, then you actually get them to buy in, right? And then the third, some of it is really about your environment. So you should also see what are the environments to help you to move into other activities instead of just screen. So some of the things that we teach in my group coaching program. So but there are many ways, but some of it is really setting the boundaries, have agreement with your child, and use the environment. I call it shape your internet safety habits, because habits can be shaped. You just need to know how to shape it. So there are many ways to shape it, and one of it is environment, because it's the easiest for us to do. And then the fourth one is help your children to secure the device environment, because you can't expect give the device and tell, oh, you stay safe on your own. It's hard, right? So you need to set the secure device environment for them, and not allow them to got into trouble and then so like anything, in the physical world, if you need to set the secure things for your child, all right, When you go to school, if let's say your child is being, you will also teach them how to cross the roads, right? So you need to do, you need to make sure it's safe. You know, you will ask her, you will not ask her to go to small lonely roads, you know. And if let's say they are young, you will actually get someone to pick her up and send her to the school, right? Like a bus, like a transporter, right? So you still have to set the secure device environment for your child. And then you need to have continuous communications with your child. Because like I said, if something happened, they refuse to tell you, then it's not good.
Yeah.
And perhaps sometimes, you know, like boys, sometimes they already addicted to porn.
Yeah.
They are already exposed to porn. But some of it can be very prevented in the first place, you know. If let's say you set secure device environment, they may not have porn. And if you have a continuous communications with your boys, you may actually tell him about, like, if let's say the age is appropriate, then you may need to tell about what is porn about.
Yeah.
What is porn about and why it's not good for him. Right? And it can actually prevent in the very beginning rather than, well, he's exposed to porn and he keep viewing, and now he's addicted.
Yeah.
And now he's addicted and only the parents find out. Do you think it's hard?
No.
I think it's extremely hard.
Yeah, it is really hard.
Habit is always extremely hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to have continuous communications on the screen use and really foster a safe space communications.
Yeah.
And last is response to your child misbehavior. And this is, I think, parents did very badly. They always react.
Yes, of course. When their kids misbehave, and they also have to scold and yell and like also take the phone away, and then it leads to fighting. Right?
Yes. But like I said, the phone can only take so much, you know. I even have a student who is on there's some parental control, and they limit the time spent on the smartphone.
Yeah.
But her boys is 14 years old, you know, going to 15, you know. Yeah. So let me ask you this: how long you install the parental control? He's going to be 18 soon. Do you think you can install the parental control when he's 18?
No. When he's 18,
no, right?
No, we cannot. Yes, of course.
No,
it's not available.
Yes. So the parental control software can only do so much. And by 18, you have a chicken who is running away, you know, fleeing from the cage, you know. That's how I actually describe it. And they're not willing to come to you, and they may just continue to indulge in, you know, the screen addictions, which will affect their career in the future as well.
Yes, of course, it affects their career, future, and then also it affects their studies and everything, right?
Yes. It's just addicted to the screens. They can't concentrate on their studies. They have no hobbies. They are just with the screen all the time.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would say they lost their childhood, you know, because they don't have time to play sports. They don't have time to play with their peers, you know, to know what child is about, because all the time it's just with the screen. They just lost their childhood.
Yes.
And when they are adult and they continue to be addicted. And one point that I want to bring about addictions is it could be something that they want to escape. Yeah. Perhaps it's undesirable things that in their real life, and they feel very stressed, they're not happy, they're sad, or perhaps they're angry. And screen is a way for them to escape, because when you scroll the screens, there is a lot of happy hormone called dopamine. And our brain are very wired to gain pleasure and avoid pain. So if let's say there is a screen addiction, sometimes it could be a desire to escape from their world. And then that's where you need to deep dive together with the child, because if the child don't tell you, you wouldn't know. So that's why you need to have the safe space, you need to deep dive, what's happening right now, how can I help you? Yes. So basically this is the steps that I can share with you. And
okay, thank you. How can you get the kids to use their devices into good use, like for learning new things or calling a grandma or parent?
Well, it's really about like, how do you use it, I think some of it is really about like being a good role model, like, and actually teach them how to use it. It's actually just simple as that. But the problem is most parents' screen habits are not good as well.
Yeah.
And you can't be like telling them to use in a good way, but while yourself is actually not using in a good way.
Yeah. Of course.
And then it's also, the first thing is really about like the role model. How do you being the role model?
Yeah.
And the second is about like, make them realize that the screen is used for a purpose.
Yes.
And like, that's why I said when you set boundaries, you need to set the boundaries around the purpose. And the screen has its purpose if you good in a good use.
Yeah.
And that's how, and basically, like I said, whatever your question is asked is also back to the same thing. Like, you have to be the role model, because you can't be like scrolling, the mom is actually scrolling Facebook or Instagram all the time and start telling, hey, you shouldn't surf TikTok, this is bad for you, and your mom is actually scrolling for, a lot of hours, and the child say, oh, you can't surf. It actually creates like a disconnect, right? Yeah. So it's really being a role model for your children, because children actually mimics the adults.
Yes.
You can't tell the children to be good one while the parents is not striving to be a better one.
Yes.
It's not going to make sense.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like, the parents can't tell the children, you should study very hard, be hardworking and everything, but the mom is actually lazy, sitting on the couch and start to watch it.
Right?
Scrolling, right?
Yes.
So the thing is like, oh, okay, mom, you tell me to study hard, but what are you doing right now?
Yeah. And then what happened? That can also happen. That is, mom is scrolling, and then be like, oh, mom is scrolling. That means it is okay for me to scroll as well. Well, when did
yes,
right? Yes, of course.
Yes. So you have to be very conscious about your own use as a parent, and use with the intention. And there's like I said, when you set boundaries, you have to set boundaries with the screens, and one of it is purpose. And the screen has its purpose. If I always say the screen is like a double-edged sword. If you use it in a good way, it can prepare you for a better future.
Yes.
Right. And I think I because you are so young and you own a podcast, I think that I think you are the one that you're also using internet for a better future for yourself, because you know to use it in the right way, right?
Yeah.
But I think you are one of the very minority people who can use it in a good way, and most of them, they are not. I guess that I don't know how many percent, but I guess that you may be the first 10%. And what about the 90%?
Oh, okay, that's good.
Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Right. So most of them, they just mindlessly surfing, and sometimes they have no idea what is they're surfing about, and watching a lot of nonsense. So it's really about like how to use the screens for a better future. It's not like you cannot watch something that is funny. I think the internet could be a good entertainment as well. Even if you want to use it for gaming, even though you felt that gaming is not good. But I felt that if, let's say, you really allocate your time for gaming, and gaming is served for a purpose, like, well, after a long day at school, I deserve some time for myself and distress, right? And I want to game, and gaming is my passion.
Yes.
If you have dedicated time for that, and you have actually fulfilled your responsibility, my things have done, my homework is done, my chores has done, I've actually done everything I should, and now the time I allocate for myself is a me time.
It's me time.
It's fine.
It's fine then.
It's fine, because it's already pre-agreed and pre-allocated, and you're very mindful about it.
Yes, of course.
And it's used for purpose.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you must use it for like learning something, because sometimes if your child are very passionate about something, then they may actually use it to learn something. Yeah. Like for my second son actually learns a lot. He likes to draw. Although you don't like to draw, but he likes to draw a lot. So I remember when he was 5 years old, he draw a lot. He just keeps scribbling. And I actually teach him how to search YouTube Kids to learn how to draw.
Yeah.
And from there, because he's been like practicing a lot, right?
Yes.
Now he's drawing very good Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Without even need to refer refer to something, you know, he don't need to go to the YouTube Kids and learn how to draw, right? So nowadays he don't need to.
Yes.
Right. So you can actually see that they can be also very creative. So I think I have one that I can show you in it's my phone.
Yeah.
That I can find or not.
Okay.
So can you see?
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yes. Actually, this was done when he was 7 years old.
Wow,
He
that
actually
doesn't look like he was 7 years old. It's quite professional, despite his age.
Yes, and he did it, and that's another one. It's a 3D Spider-Man. He's just very resourceful. He used paper and he draw in a 3D, and actually after that he cut it and he paste it, and it's like a 3D Spider-Man, you know, holding the sword, right? As you can see, right?
Wow, that's very creative. It's very good.
Yes. So I can actually see that he actually use it to prepare for himself, and his passion is about drawing and doing his artwork, and that's about his passion.
Yeah, of course.
And he actually use it for, you know, for something that he wants to indulge with his hard work.
Yeah.
Artwork, right?
Yeah.
I think the screen time is actually not as important as what the content they are consuming.
Yeah.
And what are the things they are doing behind, and what is the purpose?
Yeah. Or that means you have to find a purpose for using
find the proper.
Yeah.
Yes. But you have to set the boundaries with the screens.
Yeah.
And there are ways with time, usage, purpose, and values, core values.
Okay. That's good. So what keeps you motivated to keep helping parents with digital parenting?
So when when my best friend Hi, Anissa, are you there? You seem freezing again.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. So I continue back from March 2019 when one of my good friend passed on. She leave 2 children, very young children as well, 12 years old and I think 8 years old, 7 years old at the time. Right. So I reflect back, you know, what do I want in my journey? And I realized that if this is my last day, the one that is very precious to me is my connection with my children. Yeah, the connection with my children. Yeah. And I realized that actually most parents, at the end of the day, what they desire is the connection with the children.
Yes.
And they want the children to be always connected, and even though when they are old, the children are still connected with them and always come back to them and share with them. Not to say that you want to control them. It's more to come back, they see you as a guide, and they want to connect with you. Yeah. Right. And basically that's really my mission, because I see that there's so much disconnect and disharmony in the family due to the screen. And I can hear that most parents and children, they are fighting because of the screen. Yeah. So there's so much disconnect and disharmony in the family. And that's why I think that this motivates me to help them to establish better relationship with their child, and empowering them to use the electronic device responsibly and staying safe online. Yeah. And when I have started having my clients like Hannah, the child was addicted to screens. When the moment he opened the eyes, right, he will start using the iPad for all day long. Yeah. He installed about 25 games, you know, on the iPad, 25 games. And he was just gaming and watching YouTube all day long. Yes. And always there's a lot of fighting because mom. And after she have go through the transformation with me, the son's iPad use has only reduced to 2 hours per day. And I realized that my methods can be very powerful and game changing for the family, because in the past they have to fight. There always struggles about the excessive screen time, and the child didn't have childhood because he's always with the screens. Yeah. And after going through, you know, the program and the coaching, the child can even indulge to play with his brother and cousin, and even spend 1 hour to walk to a nearby park with the grandparents to gain back his childhood.
Yeah.
And still have some screen time, but not a lot, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And definitely the relationship with the parents has become, instead of chaotic, has changed to become connected.
Yeah. Now it's good. Good enough, right?
Yes. And it also reminds me that if I don't do the work, you know, many parents will continue to suffer in silence.
Oh yes, of course. And then they wouldn't stop their kids anymore, and then they will went into the addiction, and then later when they age and when their parents age as well, they wouldn't spend time with their family again. So yeah, it's very important.
Yes. You can also see like some young parents, they're also addicted. I've also come across like people in maybe in the early 20s. I saw that one guy, he's already in the 20s, maybe coming to 30s, right? You can see that he's keep pressing the phone on the, you know, gaming, right? But he needs to pay for the bill, you know. I was like, oh my God, you are just, hey, can you stop the gaming and pay for the bill first, right?
Yes.
Not like delaying the queue because you are playing and you have to slowly take, because you still have to press. You have to slowly take your wallet out. And I'm not sure whether you check the bill or not, you know, and you will go home and realize that, hey, there's additional things that you have billed. Because when you check out, the things that you should do is really check the bill. Have you actually billed correctly, right?
Yes. Or they are expected.
Yes. So you can see that, oh, these are people, the generation that has already, you know, like they already become adult, and they are still, and I've also like employers coming to me. I posted a lot online, and some employees also come to me that I also have a lot of employees being distracted to the phone and not focusing on their work.
Yes.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. It's very tempting and not good, of course.
Yes. And these people who are continuous distracted to the phone, they want to have a right, because they don't focus on the right thing. You know, if you want to have a better career or maybe your own business, right, you have to spend time and focus on it. So you have to really maintain the focus, you know. And now I'm also teaching my child how to maintain your focus, you know, maintain your focus on the right thing, not maintaining focus on the smartphone.
Yes, of course. So that's how smartphone is not good. So that's what's keep you motivated, right?
Yes. Smartphone can be very good. Like just like my son, he use it in the right way.
Like your employees can also use it like in a good way. They can use their devices to work, right? So it can be used in a good way as well.
Yes. And actually the device could be very good, you know, if let's say they are stuck at homework. And nowadays, if my daughter, they are stuck on the homework, she will actually search online, and she will actually can able to do the homework, because she can actually serve, rather than in the past, if let's say in my age, I can't serve. I have to, you know, go through the textbooks.
Or went to the teachers, friends.
Going to the teachers or friends and ask, hey, how can I solve this?
Well, coaching classes, tuitions, and everything, right?
Yes. But now you don't have, you have all this in the tips of your fingers.
Yes.
And if you know to use it in the right way, it could be very powerful, you know.
Yes. Of course. That
means
can
be good. I would say it's a double-edged sword. If you use in the right way, it's just helping you. If you're wrong in the bad way, it's going to kill you. Kill you, not is like you're not going to die, but it's going to kill you as in you lost your interest and you start to be just addicted to it.
Yes, only addicted and have no purpose in life and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it sounds like you have a very busy life then. So how do you make time for rest and self-care?
Well, I have a routine that I will actually follow. Like every day I will do my day started with meditation. And I will do like 20 to 30 minutes exercise. So that I can actually have some of the good hormones to come out. And it's actually feel better when you have indulged things that you like, or perhaps sometimes I will journal. And if I do have some time, then I may actually listen to some personal development courses. Like I will just listen to what they say, and then I will actually learn from it. Or I will actually read as well. And if I say I find time, then maybe I will actually read. So these are the things that I actually do for my self-care. And I realized that this is a tips for many parents as well, because I used to be that as well. I also used to be react. And I realized that when we are very overwhelmed, when we are tired, right? When you come home and you want to have rest, but our children still demands this, and there's still a lot of things that we couldn't solve, right? We become very reactive. It's not our fault. It's just our body and our emotional needs to be taken care, you know. And I also used to react because I was like so tired, I'm overwhelmed. And come on, how can't you handle these small issues on your own, right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the key things that I usually teach is you should look into your self-care. Meaning you have to look into, you know, it could be as simple as taking a 5 minutes break.
Yes. Or drink a glass of water.
Yeah, drink a bit of water. Or maybe you just go and you know, if you need, you can go and take some things that you like, your chocolates or whatever, you know, to just allow you to slow down, come back to your senses, and you can respond. Because when you are very overwhelmed, when you are very tired, it's hard. And meditation actually allows me to be present most of the time. And I can, because I've done this work for quite a number of years, I can also caught myself when I was trying to react. I was able to caught myself. If whenever I find that I'm going to react, I can caught myself easily, and I can also able to pull it out before I react.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So this is the self-care things that I usually do for myself.
Yeah, those are some very good habits. I also try to meditate every night before going to sleep. So that's a very good way to self-care, I think.
Yes. And if you meditate during night, it's also good. It allows you to sleep deeper.
Yes.
So if I meditate at night, then I realize that I can sleep much more deeper.
Yes. You can have a good sleep at night, of course.
Yes.
So how many people are there in your family?
I have 4 children.
Yeah.
And obviously I have a husband, and I also stay with my mother-in-law.
Oh.
So my kids' age are 12 years old, 9 years old, and a pair of twins, they are 6 years old this year.
Oh, wow. Twins. That's good. I love twins. Yeah. So what advice to your younger self?
I think, of course, if you ask me, I would like to learn more things, you know, that especially about like habits and also emotional regulations. Emotional regulations and how to think. So I think that I was blessed with a father who is an entrepreneur, and he also helped me, you know, to pass wisdom during the dinner table. But I think that emotional regulation is something that I was not taught in the very beginning. So if you ask for a younger self, I hope that I can actually learn that. But I think sometimes things happen for a purpose, right? So I wouldn't say that I want to go back and I wish how this can be done, because nothing can be done. So instead of thinking of that, I will actually say that why not, if with everything I got right now, why not I just pass on to my children, so that number one, they already know how to handle their emotions and how to respond rather than react. Right? And also how that teach them how to think.
Yes, of course.
And teach them good skills like communications, empathy, and really understanding, because these are the skills that I think would be helpful in the future.
Of course. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. And it was very nice to have you on my show. I love all the advices that you gave me. It was so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anissa, and I wish you all the best. You're so young and you on a podcast.
Thanks.
I wish you all the best, and I'm sure that you have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you. Me too. I also wish you all the best. Hope to see you again on my show as well.
Sure. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Okay. Bye.